It was a cold February morning in 1957. A man driving along a quiet road in Philadelphia noticed something unusual lying in the brush. At first, he ignored it. People dumped trash there all the time. But something didn't sit right with him. Days later, another man, this time checking muskrat traps, made the same discovery. What they found would shock an entire nation. Inside a discarded cardboard box was the body of a young boy. No name. No missing persons report. No one came forward to claim him. And for decades, no one knew who he was. This is the story of the boy in the box, a mystery that haunted investigators for over half a century, and still leaves behind questions that refuse to die. February 25, 1957. Fox Chase, Philadelphia. A quiet, wooded area along Susquehanna Road. Police arrived after receiving a call about a small child's body found in the underbrush. When they reached the scene, what they saw was deeply disturbing. The body of a boy, estimated to be between 4 and 6 years old, lay naked inside a large cardboard box, the kind used for a baby bassinet. The child was small, undernourished. His hair had been recently cut, roughly, unevenly, as if someone had tried to change his appearance. His body showed signs of severe abuse. Bruises, scars, and evidence that he had been beaten repeatedly. Even more chilling, his fingernails were clean and trimmed. Someone had tried to tidy him up after death. Almost like they wanted to hide something. Or erase who he was. The news spread quickly. A young boy. Dead. Abandoned. Unknown. Philadelphia was shaken. Police worked tirelessly to identify him. They took fingerprints. They photographed his face. They circulated his image across newspapers nationwide. Thousands of flyers were distributed. Posters were plastered across the city. Do you know this child? But no one came forward. Not a single family reported him missing. Not a single parent claimed him. It was as if this boy had never existed. Detectives began piecing together clues. The box itself became one of the first leads. It had originally contained a baby bassinet sold by a local department store. Police traced the shipment. They found it had been sold somewhere in the region, but the trail went cold quickly. Too many buyers. No receipts linked to a specific person. Next, investigators examined the boy's body more closely. They noticed something unusual. His stomach contained baked beans. This detail would later become one of the most debated clues in the entire case. Someone had fed him shortly before his death. Which meant he wasn't abandoned immediately. He had been in someone's care. As the autopsy continued, the reality became even darker. The boy had suffered long-term abuse. Not just a single act of violence. This was prolonged. Systematic. He had scars all over his body, some healed, some recent. There were signs of malnutrition. And yet, despite all this, he had also been bathed, cleaned, his hair freshly cut. It created a disturbing contradiction. Was his killer trying to hide his identity? Or was there some twisted sense of care? The case exploded across the country. Thousands of tips flooded in. Some believed the boy was a runaway. Others claimed he came from an orphanage. Psychics even contacted police, offering visions and clues. One of the most persistent theories came from a woman known only as M. Years later, she told investigators a horrifying story. She claimed her abusive mother had purchased the boy illegally. According to her, the boy was kept in their home and subjected to unimaginable cruelty. She said one night, after the boy vomited baked beans, her mother flew into a rage and beat him to death. Panicked, they cleaned his body, cut his hair, and dumped him in the woods. It was a chilling confession. Detailed, specific, and eerily consistent with the evidence. But there was a problem. There was no proof. Police could never verify her story. No records. No witnesses. No physical evidence linking her or her mother to the crime. The lead went nowhere. As years passed, the case grew colder. But the boy was never forgotten. He became known by many names. The boy in the box. America's unknown child. Philadelphia's lost boy. He was buried in a local cemetery. Thousands attended his funeral. Strangers. Families. People who felt connected to him, even though they didn't know who he was. Because that was the most haunting part of all. Not just how he died, but how he lived. Unnoticed. Unclaimed. Unknown. Over the decades, countless theories emerged. Some believed he was the child of a troubled family who wanted to hide abuse. Others thought he may have been part of an underground adoption ring. There were even theories that he had escaped from an institution. One lead suggested he might have been raised disguised as a girl, explaining his unusual haircut. Another claimed he was from a traveling carnival. Each theory had fragments of possibility. But none had enough evidence to solve the case. Even as time passed, some detectives refused to let the case go. Retired officers continued to revisit evidence. Journalists wrote articles to keep the story alive. Amateur sleuths studied every detail. The case became more than just a mystery. It became a mission. To give the boy back his identity. For years, technology limited the investigation. But as science advanced, so did hope. DNA testing began offering new possibilities. Investigators preserved evidence carefully, knowing that one day, it might reveal answers. And that day, finally came. Decades after his death, forensic genealogy was used to trace his family line. It was a painstaking process. Matching DNA. Building family trees. Connecting distant relatives. Until finally, the boy had a name. After more than 60 years, the boy was identified as Joseph Augustus Sorelli. Born in 1953. A real child. With a real history. A real identity. No longer just the boy in the box. The announcement brought closure, but also new questions. Because even though his name was known, the truth about his death still wasn't. Who killed Joseph? Was it his parents? Someone else? Why was he never reported missing? Why did no one come forward? And perhaps the most disturbing question of all. How does a child live and die without anyone noticing? This isn't just a crime story. It's a story about neglect. About invisibility. About how a child could slip through every crack in the system. Joseph wasn't just a mystery. He was a boy who deserved safety. Who deserved love. Who deserved a life.